Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Jersey Nick Moto. Today we're in Homedale Park in Homedale, New Jersey, and I'm looking for a nice little quiet spot to park so I could give you guys an up close look at Lola, my Harley Davidson Road Glide. I gave you guys an up close look at Roxy, my Sportster, a few months ago, so you already met the side chick. Now today you're going to meet the main chick. And we're going to do that as soon as we find a nice little quiet spot to park where I could walk around the bike and talk to myself and not be disturbed. Alright guys, so this is Lola, my 2015 Road Glide Special. She's flat black, or as Harley likes to call it, black denim. I got that color because I knew I'd be doing more riding than washing on this bike. That's why she always looks dirty. I probably should have cleaned her up for this, but you know, then it wouldn't have been authentic because she's never clean. As you can see, I got my lowers on. I put them on as soon as the weather turns. They work pretty good holding in the heat on your legs. I usually put them on probably like sometime mid-end of October. They worked good this morning. It was in the 30s when I left, so they kept me a little warm. It's got the fixed fairing, shark nose fairing, attached to the frame. When I was going to buy this bike, it was between the Street Glide Special and the Road Glide Special. Street Glide has the fairing on the bars. I rode my buddy's Street Glide, and this just felt much better to me. It felt much more stable at slow speeds. I didn't have all that weight on the handlebars, and if you want a good highway bike, something to cut the wind, the fixed fairing's definitely the way to go. She's the Road Glide Special, so that means she has the bigger screen for the GPS. I don't use the radio much at all. I don't use any of this Bluetooth stuff. To me, that's just too much technology. The main reason I bought this bike again was because I wanted the fairing and I wanted the GPS. Now, is it the most accurate GPS? Not really, even when it's updated, but it gets me home when I'm lost, and that's enough for me. It has cruise control. It's another thing I don't use much. Again, my two main things were the fairing to block the wind for all the highway riding and traveling I do, and the GPS for when I'm in a bind. She's got a 103 twin cam in her. No, she's not as fast or as smooth as your Milwaukee 8, but she'll run at 100 all day. And the sweet spot on this is usually around 85, 90. That's what I usually cruise at when I'm traveling. And it's got plenty of power for me. I got no complaints about it at all. It has a stage 1. It's dyno tuned. And I have these Bassani Road Rage 2-into-1 pipes. Love the sound. Love the performance. As you can see, the finish, well, I don't want to blame that on Bassani. I think any black pipes that get abused the way I abuse this bike would probably end up looking like that sooner or later. But the sound and the performance, I think, are great. Every once in a while, I'll spray some pig spit on her and clean her up, and it takes away a little of that. But then, you know, as it's ridden in the rain, it just comes back. But it doesn't really bother me much. Like I said, this bike isn't for show, it's to be ridden. When I got her, I put this backrest and luggage rack on her. Not so much for passengers. I don't ride with a passenger that often, but I needed this for traveling. I put my tea bags right here. Gives me a nice little thing to lean up against when I'm traveling. And I put my smaller bag right on this luggage rack. So this was all for function rather than looks. I added these 12-inch factory 47 bars. I like these a lot. They're nice. They're thick. They're strong. They're sturdy. The stock bars were they seemed kind of low to me, especially when I was like making a U-turn. I felt like my hand was right down here on the tank, so I like these a lot. Factory 47. Check them out. Out of California. I added the Zero LED turn signal inserts front and rear. They're a lot brighter than stock. I'd like to get the LED Zero lights that go in here someday. Maybe one day when I have extra money, but let's face it, I never have extra money. But that's on my wish list. The ones in front are really nice. They're white running light, and then when you put the turn signals on, there you go. Like I said, I don't use the radio much. Usually when I'm riding, I have the info screen up. It tells you the outside temperature. That's why I'm always telling you guys the temperature, because it's staring me in the face. It's 39 degrees right now. It tells the oil pressure. I like to monitor that. So that's the screen I'm usually looking at, if not the GPS. All right, it was time to move parking spaces. A little too much foot traffic over there. Anyway, so far this bike's been very reliable. I have no complaints. I had a couple things fixed under warranty. When I first got the bike, about 5 months out, I think, we were riding back from South Dakota, and half of this double headlight went out. And you can't just change one side, or it wasn't the bulb, something with the headlight malfunctioned. That was changed under warranty, but that was, if I did not have the warranty, that was an $850 headlight. So if that happens now, I don't know, maybe we'll strap a flashlight to the front or something. The only other problem I had was these tend to leak once in a while. They were fixed under warranty. They've been good since then. If they probably go again, I'll probably try and fix it myself. Alright, so now I'll go over all the stickers and pins and stuff I have on the bike. A lot of people ask me about them. I know it looks like I'll slap any sticker on my bike. That's not the case, though. All the ones that are on here have some kind of significance, and I'll go through them one by one. I guess we'll start with these pins up front here. As I mentioned in one of my other videos, these bags from Harley are absolutely garbage. I just keep them on now because I have the pins on there. I keep some extra bandanas in there. But this one here is a Motor Wolf pin. You can check him out on Instagram. I'll put all the Instagrams on the screen below. He's a guy who lives in Queens, New York, and he rides the shit out of his Dyna Street Bob. He rode from Queens to Alaska once. And I found him on Instagram a few years ago, and I ordered a couple of his hats, and he sent me this pin, and he's just an inspiration to ride far. So check him out. That's why I keep his pin up here. This pin was from another Instagrammer, Lady Lassen. She's a badass Harley mechanic and flat track racer. I ran into her when she was working down at Pensacola Harley when we were riding through Florida, and she was nice enough to give me and my buddy Bob one of these pins here. So that's why I keep that here. One of these Harley 115 anniversary pins. This is just a little POW band I got from Rolling Thunder this year. This is my RAM mount, so I can run a GoPro on the bars. I don't think I mentioned that before. This is just a little leather braid. I like kind of like Southwestern type stuff. Kind of like reminiscent of all my travels. That stays here. On this side, you might recognize Fabry Rock. He's a really, really cool dude. Out in Italy. I'll link his channel down below and his Instagram. If you have not, check him out. I'm sure you already have. I had the great opportunity to ride with him a few months ago when he was passing through on his coast-to-coast tour through the United States, and we had been in contact on Instagram a few years ago when he got in contact with me when he was thinking about coming to the U.S. to travel and asked me a bunch of questions. I was more than happy to help, and we always said that if he was ever passing through the New Jersey, New York area, we would ride together. And we had the opportunity to do that a few months ago, and just what a cool guy. He has the same kind of mindset about riding that I do, and the love for riding and a love for these Harley Davidson motorcycles. So that's why he gets a spot on my bike. Right next to him, Shovelhead Austin. I will link his Instagram. He's a real old school biker, grew up in Brooklyn in that whole motorcycle scene, and I always run into him at some events. He lives in New Jersey now, and he was kind enough to give me one of his motorcycle motherfucker stickers, and I'm proud to display that on my bike. Again, I'll link his Instagram. Definitely check him out if you're into that old school biker lifestyle, and he's such a nice guy too. Alright, this pretty much self-explanatory. 48 states, traveled by motorcycle. I filled this map in over the years as I went. Very proud of this. Big accomplishment, big goal that I had, and that myself and my buddy Bobby accomplished this past year. So I proudly display that on my saddlebag. This raccoon tail, I picked this up the past year at the trading post in Nebraska. Just something, something to remind me of my travels. Something I think is cool to hang back there. I got it on with some of this leather banding. Again, like that Southwest type look. My American flag bandana flies back here all the time. For one reason, of course, support America. The other reason is hopefully, people in back of me see this shit flapping around and realize, oh shit, there's a motorcycle in front of me. Let's not run him over. Just another thing to get noticed. Alright, this saddlebag. ASR, Adam Sandoval Rides. You should all know Adam Sandoval. He did his charity work a few years ago, riding to every Harley Davidson dealer with his dog Scooter to raise money for veterans. I had the honor to meet him a few times when he was doing that and to spend a day or two riding with him when he was in the New Jersey area. So that's why I have his sticker back there. And also when I did that ride with him, I met a lot of cool people that I still stay in touch with today. So that was a special day. That's why, and I went to a couple other events with him, and that's why I keep that on my bike. As you notice, I have 4 different states in each corner. This just, this just shows the 4 corners of the United States that I travel to. So instead of putting a sticker from every state, we have that. I just picked when you look at the map, the 4 corners of the map. I think it's kind of crazy that I've hit all those 4 corners and everything in between. So of course we have Maine in the northeast, Key West, Florida, most southern tip of the United States. I rode there. San Diego, that was a hell of a trip. That was unbelievable. In the southwest corner of the United States. That was, I think I've mentioned it before, but riding through the desert into California and then onto the beach in San Diego, that's just something I will never forget. So we have that there, and of course the most northwest corner, Washington State, we have that there. Nashville, Tennessee, my favorite city in the United States. I've ridden there 3 times, so Nashville definitely gets a sticker. Cheap Thrills is a bike show in Asbury Park, New Jersey, a chopper show every February. It's a great show. I always have a great time there. A bunch of really cool people. And I always went to this show with my buddy Bill, who passed away in May this year. So although that show will never be the same, I'll still always go there, and this sticker will always remind me of him. 812 Garage. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. That's my buddy Jerry. He runs a little shop out of his house in Long Branch, New Jersey, and he makes a bunch of cool shit. A lot of chopper shit, custom sissy bars, jockey shifts, just all different kind of stuff he fabricates. And he's a really cool old school biker, down to earth guy. You talk with him a few times, you feel like you've known him forever. So I proudly put his sticker on there, support a little bit of local New Jersey business. Rock Bottom or Bus, 812 Garage. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. Kung Fu Tap and Taco. Alright, this place is a really cool little biker bar in Iowa. By the way, I love riding through Iowa. It's such a beautiful state. I never really thought it was until I got the chance to go there. A little too cold for me in the winter, but to ride through there in the summer is absolutely beautiful. Alright, so Kung Fu Tap and Taco. Real cool little old school biker bar. Found out about him on Instagram. When I saw this past year we'd be going through Des Moines again, I told my buddy Bobby we gotta stop there. Well, today we planned on stopping there. And you could go back and watch all my road trip videos in my motorcycle road trip playlist. As most of you know, that's the day Bobby, he found out his brother passed away. And he had to make that hard decision whether we were going to go on or turn back. So that night we went to Kung Fu Tap and Taco, and it made a very, very bad day a little bit better, as best as it could be. And it was just a bunch of really cool people. I tell you, at first we walked in and we kind of felt like, we might not be welcomed here. Like, looked like a lot of locals that all knew each other. They kind of looked at us like, like, who are these 2 guys? But it turned out to be just a lot of really cool, down-to-earth people with a love for motorcycles. And we told them our story about traveling, and we just had a great time that night. So we'll always remember that place, Kung Fu Tap and Taco. Check them out. If you're going through Des Moines, Iowa, make sure you stop there. Alright, so that I think is pretty much it, guys. That is Lola, my 2015 Road Glide Special. I will say, this bike, it really means a lot to me. Lola is like part of my family. I've been so many places on her. I can never see myself, I would never get rid of her. Never. I'll just have her rebuilt, and one day if she becomes unrideable, she'll just sit in the corner of my garage so I have my memories. When I get on this bike, it just feels like home. I feel so comfortable on it. I actually think I could whip this bike around better than I do my little Sportster, and I guess it's probably because I've ridden her so much. But Lola's part of the family. She's not going anywhere. We've had so many memories together. She's just my number one chick, my number one bike, and she'll always be that way. Oh, you're probably going to ask me, how many miles does she have on her? Right? She's been everywhere. Well, I'm going to answer that with the line my buddy Hudat down in Texas tells everybody when they ask him how many miles are on his Road Glide. And I'll drop his Instagram down below. That's a guy that rides a lot more than I do. And I'm just going to tell you what he says. Not enough. Alright guys, as usual, thanks for watching Jersey Nick Moto. If you like this video, give it a like, give it a comment. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Keep your head on a swivel out there. Later.